Our oceans cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface, but did you know that over 80% of them remain unexplored?
See, this is the part that scares me, okay? Like, we don't even know what's on our own planet because we can't reach it. It's
Being too
scary!
deep, too cold, or too dangerous, these places are home to secrets most people have never seen.
I like the mascot. He's cute.
The Eldritch Horror.
Oh, God.
Deep down in the ocean, you expect to see some pretty crazy creatures. The pressure of all the water and lack of sunlight from all the refraction means that what lives down here has to adapt.
Yep.
This can mean bigger eyes to pick up as much light as possible.
That man's got some huge eyes. These are real. He can see everything. He has evolved to the optimal parameters that nobody on land can understand.
This can mean bigger eyes to pick up as much light as possible, or spongier bodies to deal with the pressure. Or what? What the heck is that?
Oh, what is that? Ew!
I can't tell where its tentacles end and its head begins.
How big is this thing? Like, somebody please help. Is this like the size of my fingernail or like bigger than me? How big is this thing?
What is that thing?
What are you?
The boiling nightmare was captured by the Serpent Project back in 2015, off the coast of Angola in the South Ocean. Using a remote-operated vehicle,
it's smaller than my hand, really?
4,350 feet below the waves, when they stumbled upon this bizarre creature. Initially, they had no idea what it could be, aside from the wriggling, writhing spawn of Cthulhu. But after analyzing its features, they concluded that it's
noodles
not,
tangled
in
around
fact,
each other.
an eldritch horror, but a kind of siphonophore.
Looks like a sentient carrot.
Organisms that work together as
when
a
carrot
hive.
gained sentience.
Though to us humans, they simply appear to be one incredibly creepy entity. However, this hive-like structure means there's no uniform shape or size that a colony takes on.
They're so gross.
As the EV Nautilus team revealed back in 2014.
Ooh.
At some 200 feet
Please,
down in the waters off the southern coast of the USA, they came across this otherworldly siphonophore.
What in the world is this?
Completely different from the sentient knot we saw before. But these two organism colonies belong to the same family.
This is what I mean, like, the stuff down this deep underwater makes no sense. Like, it looks like nothing else.
Doll discovery.
No!
Thanks to its imperious 880-foot-long size.
If I saw a doll underwater, I would think that was an omen. I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna die soon.
Down in history as the world's most
you know, I don't really have a religion, but
concrete evidence
I just feel like
fate wasn't discovered.
I've seen enough horror movies to know that, like, my end is near. Ain't no way.
Iceberg and sank. But fisherman Abel Frederico Nogueiras actually uncovered the Titanic's fate 8 years before the whole shipwreck was found. Back in 1976, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, he hauled up the net of his trawler and spotted something that didn't look like a fish.
Oh my, I would piss
As he
myself.
Leaned in to get a better look,
oh, look, is that a fish? Oh, it's a creepy doll.
Right back at him.
I think I'd put it back. Oh, no. I'd put that back.
Some 6,500
no.
feet below. This
yeah, that I leave my net in the water, then I go home, I go lay down. I question my life decisions. I think about anybody I might have upset in the past week.
After Nogueiras passed away in 1992, his son sold the porcelain piece to Teresa Martin, a doll collector. She delved deeper into its history, uncovering documents about girls on board the ship that had brought dolls with them.
Oh,
discovered that Titanic
bro, this could be an entire plot for a horror movie in itself.
In her memoirs that she left her doll in her cabin when she evacuated the ship.
Oh, hell no.
It then turned out that the make of the doll head was Schönau and Hofmeister 1906.
Bro, I'd be so afraid to touch this thing, alright? If there was gonna be something that haunted you, like, inside of anything, that would be it.
No one tell James Cameron about this. Ancient artifact. If you think 100-year-old Titanic artifacts are ancient, they're nothing compared to another deep-sea discovery made in 1984. Marine archaeologist Ayub Jaleli was diving up the coast of Atlit in Israel in the hope of finding a shipwreck. While he didn't stumble across a broken boat, he did discover something else that piqued his interest. 40 feet under the waves, Jaleli spotted the remnants of rectangular houses.
Oh,
reported
that's
the finding,
interesting.
leading to more underwater excavations of the area. Soon, graves.
Oh,
even
no.
remains.
Yeah, no, time to leave.
These
Yeah.
water
That was cool.
wells
Time
that
to
look
go.
like portals
Time to
into
go.
another world, and
I'm
even
good.
7
Yep.
megaliths arranged in a stone semicircle
Oh,
emerged
no.
from this marine metropolis, 1,500
Hell
years
no.
old. For reference, that makes this place 400 years older than the pyramids of Giza. And as
I
for
don't
that
wanna
massive
shake
megalith,
the graves of great Uncle Jerry. All right, we gotta go. No.
it's around 3,500
Woo!
years older than Stonehenge. The question is,
Wow.
why were the remains of this once special city submerged? Which is about 8 times the size of a standard football field.
So the area that they found this stuff in was this big? Wow.
Was suddenly abandoned. Why? A study estimated that at the time that Atlit Yam was present, an eruption at Mount Etna in southern Italy caused a 130-foot-high tsunami to engulf the
Oh my
Mediterranean coastal
goodness.
cities.
So
within
they
a matter
literally
of
found
hours.
like an
If
old
only they'd constructed some
civilization that
flood
used to live there that a
defenses instead of
tsunami
those
covered?
massive
Crazy.
megaliths.
Why was it abandoned? The commute underwater was super long. Oh my. That was a good one.
Did some flood defenses instead of those massive megaliths.
It engulfed them in a matter of hours, Chad. In a matter of hours. Like, that is so... It's cursed. This is cursed. I told you.
Strange stalkers.
Oh, no. Oh, why does it... What are those teeth? Like, these look like the little spikes that are on, like roses. You know, how, like, the thorns? That's what this looks like.
The deep sea isn't just home to artifacts from a bygone era. It's also the place for some curious creatures that are very much alive in the present day.
They call them curious creatures. I call them ugly. What in the is this? This is a Five Nights at Freddy fish. Like,
Take
oh
this
god.
grizzly guy, better known as a deep sea lizardfish. Man, I'm gonna struggle to get sleep tonight. But scary as these fish look, I wouldn't worry too much about bumping it.
Look at this. Like, what are these? They don't even look like teeth. They're like transparent, and they like, oh, they don't even look like teeth. Like, what is that? What is that?
Into one. That's because these 2-foot-long critters only live at depths of around 2,000 feet to 11,000 feet. This part of the ocean is known as the Midnight Zone. It's a place of almost constant darkness, except for many bioluminescent beasts swimming around. The lack of light means that
They look
deep-sea
like
lizardfish have to
cursed
adapt.
glow
To
sticks.
detect prey, they use their enormous eyes
Cursed
to
living
amplify
glow
what
sticks.
little light reaches down to those deep depths. Yet
Oh,
eerie eyes aren't the
God.
only frightening feature of this creature.
I hate that.
Their monster mouths are filled with hundreds of sharp,
It's
needle-like
not just
teeth
regular
used for
darkness.
piercing and trapping
It
prey.
is advanced
Deep-sea
darkness.
lizardfish are one of the world's deepest
is,
living
though.
apex predators. And
Oh,
won't hesitate
God.
to eat anything they find.
He's
in
kind
the
of cute,
dark,
but like I'm also
including their own
scared of him,
kind.
you know?
Though
I'm
if
like
they
really
do
conflicted
run across
internally
another
about how I
lizardfish,
feel.
There's an
I
equal
wanna
chance
scream
they'll
at
get
him.
randy with it instead.
But
Huh?
you know, also he's kind of
Okay,
cute.
not where I thought this was going. Because of how dark and sparse of life it is at the depths these fish thrive at, all deep-sea lizardfish are hermaphroditic, meaning
Oh,
they
okay.
have male and female reproductive organs.
So
can
when they
breed
get
with
the chance
any
to
other
they have
of
to
their
whatever they
species.
see because
Well,
it's
that puts
already
a
so
whole new spin on
isolated
the
down there.
phrase, playing with your food. Standing strong. Traveling even further down to the deeper, darker depths of 15,000
Oh my
feet,
god. I
we
feel like it
find
only gets
another
worse.
very
Oh yeah, it
odd
does.
organism. The
It only
tripod
gets
fish,
weirder the
as it's
further
aptly
down you
called,
go.
is found in the abyssal zone, a section right below the midnight zone that stretches from 13,000 to 20,000 feet. And it's here where the tripod fish does its thing.
Oh.
Its thing being standing up with its 3 elongated
It
projections.
really
to
is
its
a tripod
Unlike
fish.
deep-sea
Like
lizardfish, these critters aren't blessed
why
with
does he
enormous
have
eyes.
those? What do those help
Instead,
with?
they possess peepers that are barely a millimeter in diameter.
He's
You'd
got
think
really
that'd make
tiny
hunting
peepers and he's
tricky
got
for
really
tripod
long
fish,
legs.
But not so.
And randomly a
settled on the
long
deep
leg
sea
on the edge
bed,
of its tail,
this
which we
freaky
don't even
fish
know
turns
why.
its head into the direction of water movement. Then it waits motionless until it detects any potential meals, except not with its eyes, but extended pectoral fins. These
Dude is
hover
like an
above its head like
airplane.
antennae, picking up swimming vibrations from any approaching prey. Thanks to the desolate depths
Jesus.
tripod fish inhabit, they, like the deep-sea lizardfish, share a lonely existence. So they are also hermaphroditic. Except, not only are these funky fish able to mate with any other member of their species,
I think they all got,
they can even make both sperm and eggs to produce offspring all by themselves.
Oh, so they
Talk
don't
about
even
being
need
resourceful.
to. They don't even need to get with someone else. They're resourceful, man.
Open wide.
Oh, God.
Back
He's
up at
got a big
10,000
smile.
feet and re-entering the midnight
He's
zone
got a big
is another creepy
smile.
creature that has to be seen to be believed. Known as the gulper eel or pelican eel,
Me when anxiety.
its deep-sea find
Me
is
when
most
anxiety.
notable for its massive maw, which, surprise, resembles that of a pelican. In total,
What?
these guys measure around 2.5 feet long, with their head taking up around 25% of their
Jesus
overall length.
Christ.
But their chops aren't
He's
only
got a big head.
They're also loosely hinged, allowing them to open wide, with the loose skin of their underside creating a massive
Oh my
net
God.
that can
This
scoop up
doesn't even
prey
look
twice
real.
their
Man, looks
size.
like the beak of a pelican attached to like an eel.
But the pelican eel's funky features don't end with their massive mouths. At the other end of their anatomy is a whip-like tail that doubles as a light-producing organ, known as a photophore. Through bioluminescence, the photophore glows bright pink, illuminating the dark waters around the eel. You might think that
It glows pink, chat.
light-
That's how I die. I'd be like, ooh, look at that kawaii color in the depths. Then I die.
acts as a lure, attracting prey.
He
to
does
the
look like a
massive
deflated
mouth
balloon.
Of these monsters. Can you think of anything worse than this being your last sight? Well, whatever you do, don't go towards the light.
Yeah, my tail is pink.
Colossal cutter. Odd organisms.
But I am
aren't
not
the
made of
only
water.
thing in the deep blue that'll leave you scratching your head. What would you do if you found a giant knife-like object whilst scuba diving? I mean, just take a look at this perplexing picture. No, don't rub your eyes. Those divers are indeed holding a gigantic
I mean, I think it was pretty
knife.
cool.
This daunting discovery,
Time
found
to
by
take
divers
the
off
underwater
coast of
giant's
Madagascar,
dinnerware. See ya.
has left people on the internet stumped. Presuming that those guys are adult size, then that knife's gotta be over 7 feet long. The question is, who needs a knife that big? Some theories suggest that this whopping weapon was used by some prehistoric giants that walked the earth tens of thousands of years ago.
I would just think it was a statue. Somebody thought it would be funny to make a statue of a butter knife. I don't know.
In truth, it's likely that this ominous object isn't actually a knife after all.
What is it
Instead,
then?
It's far more probable that this is a lost prop from a movie.
Oh,
that
there you
somehow
go,
ended up in the
yeah.
ocean. Personally, I reckon it's an aircraft propeller that snapped from a fallen plane, or a rudder or dagger board that broke off a boat. Tell you what,
I don't know
hit
enough about
subscribe if you
propellers.
think that this find is from a lost movie set, and hit like if you think it's from an airplane propeller.
I think
If you
it's
have your
from
own
neither. I
theories,
think
why don't
some
you let me
weirdo
know down in the
lost their
comments below.
large weeb anime knife
Sea
from their
sculptures.
cosplay underwater.
At first glance, Molinier Bay off the coast of Grenada looks as pretty as a postcard. But all is not as it seems under the water's surface.
It was a
of this
prehistoric
beautiful
Mr.
bay.
Beef. Today we're making the
You see,
world's
any
biggest
scuba
knife.
diver that dives under the waves here will be confronted by this haunting sight. Yep, that's it. I'm never going in the sea again.
Oh my god,
Unfortunately,
I
th-
literally would have peed myself.
These concrete figures are man-made.
I don't care.
British sculptor Jason DeCaires Taylor
That's so cool, but it's still
constructed the
cursed. They still
sculptures
look
from
creepy.
life of the local community.
They still look creepy as
When suddenly you're confronted with that. Around
Yeah, nope.
4,500 miles
This
north
is
of
why
Molinier
I don't
Bay,
understand people who
there's
like
an
scuba
even
diving.
creepier underwater statue. 134 feet
I have
below
no
the surface
desire.
of Lake Neuchatel, you'll find this 16-foot-long, spine-chilling shark
Oh,
sculpture that will ensure
woo!
you experience some nautical
No,
nightmares.
no.
The question is,
I would
why
cry.
is there a 16-foot-long terror
I would
shark
cry if I
inhabiting
was
a
just
lake
like
in
la la
Switzerland?
la swimming and that
Well,
was
this
there. I
burly
no,
beast was
I don't
made
care
in
what.
2007 and used as a prop for a short film called Chocolat.
After the
That's
movie was
so
finished,
scary, though.
the
Like, I
scary
know
shark
it's just a
sculpture was
prop,
dumped
but
in a
I would
lake,
never go back down
presumably to
again. I would
attract
never.
and scare tourists.
I wouldn't care
Now,
how
can you
harmless
imagine
it was.
swimming in
Like,
that lake
no.
without knowing that marine monster was at the bottom? I think my
That is
wetsuit would get
so
wet.
scary. No, no, no.
See you later, alligator. Speaking of
Oh,
powerful predators
no.
lurking in deep waters, that brings us to our next fearsome find. Located over 6,000 feet below the water's surface in the Gulf of Mexico. Yep, your eyes don't deceive you. That is
Ew.
an alligator at the bottom of the deep blue.
Underwater bugs? Ugh.
At the
You
bottom
can't
of the deep
smash that.
blue.
I can see how big it is. There's
Except
no way
unlike
my
that
shoe's
scary
gonna help.
Shark, this gator is no sculpture. It's 100%
Isopods?
real. Can you imagine how scary it'd be for a deep sea diver
I don't
to
care
come
what it's
face
called,
to
that's
face with one of
nasty.
these powerful predators? The question is, how can an alligator, an animal normally found in rivers and lakes, survive in the deep sea?
Aren't alligators
answer?
like super old?
They don't. You see, this alligator isn't alive.
I was gonna say, I think he's
Turns
not
out
alive.
3
He doesn't have the
gators
eyes
were
or
part of
anything.
an experiment with marine biologists from the Louisiana University's Marine Consortium, dropping them down into the deep sea
Another
to observe how
optional thing
creatures
for a
that
horror
thrive
movie
down there
or an
react
anime.
to an unusual food source. The results shocked them, with one whole alligator being devoured by football-sized isopods in less than 24 hours. Another specimen was gnawed right down to its bone, leaving a strange brown fuzz behind.
Bro, poor
DNA studies
alligator. Like,
revealed that
those
this
people.
weird residue was actually a newly discovered species of bone-eating
Oh,
worm.
God!
Like the deep sea couldn't get any stranger.
No!
And as for the third carcass, well, researchers don't actually know.
They're gonna
The
take
entire
your
gator
bones!
went
They're gonna
missing
take your
after 8
bones! No, no, no!
days, with just the deployment harness and weight used to sink it remaining. On further investigation, the scientists discovered drag marks where they'd originally left a 40-pound heavy gator.
They
To
drug
this
him!
day, they still don't know
dragged
the
him
colossal
down
critter
to
had
his
the power
death.
and stomach to ravage an entire alligator.
Hell no.
Turtle tomb. Now, alligators aren't the only reptiles to end up in the sea's depths. Just ask photographer Josh Vergara. When he went diving off the coast of Sipadan Island in Malaysia, he was expecting to catch some mesmerizing marine shots. Instead, he discovered something that sent a shiver down his spine.
Oh,
Around
no.
75 feet underwater, Vergara stumbled across a cave, but it was no ordinary cave. This
Like, I
cavern
think
was
caves
chock
underwater
full
are
of
the
deceased
scariest places
turtles.
people go.
The cave,
Like, in my
known by
opinion.
locals as the Turtle Tomb, is filled with dozens of shelled skeletons. Now, sea turtles are famously solitary creatures, so how come so many skeletons can be found in this graveyard? Well, some believe that the turtles chose this cave as a resting place, seeing out their final moments here in peace. But sadly, the more probable explanation isn't so Disney-esque. The cave is filled with plenty of twists and turns, so it's more likely they each ventured in at some point and became disoriented. Turtles can hold their breath for an impressive 2 hours. It's
Poor
likely that
turtles!
not knowing how to get out, as sad as it is strange. Scary shell. How about we focus on some deep-sea critters that are alive and kicking?
Sure.
Or swimming, should I say? This cute little crustacean is a hermit crab. These guys have a soft abdomen, unlike the hard, calcified abdomens.
Bro
in
has
most
some
other
gear that he's
crustaceans.
wearing as a shell
So,
today.
to protect their bodies from predators, hermit crabs think resourcefully. Typically, these guys use empty sea snail shells, but this handy hermit had a bolder idea. Now, it may look like some sort of
God!
alien gunk, but this
What
is
is
actually
that?
a Parapagus hermit crab, using a sea anemone-like animal known as a zoanthid as a shell.
That's
When
disgusting.
hermit crabs are small, they pick up a sea snail shell. Then, at some point, the zoanthid attaches to it. As the hermit crab grows, so does the zoanthid, beginning to take on the role of the original shell,
What the heck?
growing around the abdomen of the hermit crab, leading to this horror.
So
Mr.
basically, this is a story of two friends that made soft tacos together, but because they did this underwater in the cursed abyss, they made a morbed out like a deep sea transformer.
Disturbing as it
Ugh.
looks, it's actually all good. The crab avoids the dangerous task of swapping shells, which briefly leaves them exposed, while the stinging cells in the tentacles of the zoanthids deter any predators from snacking on the hermit. This symbiotic relationship benefits the zoanthids too, as the crab's
I was
mobility
gonna say there's a
allows
symbiotic
the
relationship.
zoantharians to access different areas of the ocean for feeding.
They
Sounds like a
agreed to
match
combine
made
to
in
be
heaven, even
the
if it
creepiest thing
looks like it's
possible.
made in hell. Beastly blimp.
Oh god, why is his eye so big?
In April 2023, Roman Fedortsov went fishing in the Barents Sea. off the northern
Anemone,
coast of Russia.
anemone.
He was working on a commercial trawler,
Anemone.
looking to catch the usual cod, haddock, maybe mackerel too if he was lucky. However, that's not all that showed up in his net. With the nets able to reach down as far as 3,300 feet,
Anemone.
it's not uncommon for creepy creatures to be hauled into the ship as well. And that fateful day, Fedortsov hauled up this fearsome fish. Its fleshy pink mouth, scaly body, lizard-like tail, and grotesquely protruding eyes
Built like an anime character, but a fish with eyes that big. Jesus.
make this pure nightmare fuel. After posting a picture of it online, theories about what this organism was started to sprout.
Anime fish
Some wondered
eyes.
if it was a rare abnormality. Others blamed pollution for these dreadful defects. Turns out it was neither. This fish is an onion-eyed grenadier,
What the?
a finned fish that thrives around 3,000 feet down.
Okay.
Now, these guys have all the funky features of Fedortsov's find, except
Man's
for a couple
got
of
that
things.
mustard colored
Firstly,
eyes.
they don't share the same distended pink mouth, and secondly, while their eyes are large, they don't normally appear to be popping out of their head.
Reminds me of like a pug.
The bulging eyes and mouth are caused by barotrauma, the physical damage to body tissues caused by a change in pressure.
Oh my
Fish
god.
have a swim
So he's a
bladder,
sick
an
version of
internal
that first
gas-filled
fish?
organ that helps them maintain buoyancy at different depths in the water. At the deep depths the onion-eyed grenadier experiences, the pressure is high, meaning gases within the swim bladder are compressed. But when a fish is rapidly brought to the surface,
Oh, it's
the
because they brought him
external
up.
pressure
So he looked
significantly
weird because they
decreases.
brought him up.
As a result, the compressed gases in the swim bladder expand, leading to the fish's surrounding organs and tissues.
See, this is why you should leave that down there. All right, it was already scary enough down there. You made it worse. Put it back. Don't bring that up here. Leave him down there. It only
I
gets
think I
worse if
prefer
you
the
bring him up. He
pollution
was already creepy
explanation.
enough. Now you made it worse.
Nautical nuke. Over time, ocean floors have become home to some mysterious man-made products.
Don't put it
Take
back.
this
It's
image
already
that
dead.
circulated around the web. That is what looks like a nuclear reactor embedded
Chat! Aliens! I found them!
into sediment on
It's
the
gotta
ocean
be what it
floor,
is.
which would be terrifying if it wasn't Photoshop. Marine monster.
Oh,
But it's not just the
That was
deep
a blurry-
Barents
that was a
Sea that's
blurry
full of
picture.
ghoulish horrors. Traveling 4,000 miles southeast of those wicked waters, you'll find the Pacific Ocean.
okay.
It's here that back in 2010, researchers of the Japan Agency for Marine Earth Science
Yeah, it
and
was really
Technology,
blurry. Do they have any
or
other pictures, or is it
JAMSTEC,
just a
were
theory?
remotely operating an underwater vehicle, plunging it down to a depth of 1,000 feet and recording what they found. Looks pretty standard. Water,
So they used like an
seabed.
underwater
But
drone.
then it got a lot less standard and way spookier. What the hell is that? A demonic
It's a sea cow, chat! Honestly, it looks kind of derpy. Like, look at where the eyes are.
sea cow? The Pokemon Muck come to life?
It's Muck!
After seeing this footage, some people have suggested
Guys, he doesn't even look that threatening. He's just hanging out.
this could even be Ningen, a cryptid creature from modern folklore.
Of course it would be. He's kind of friend shape. I don't know. He's just hanging out. Why are they judging him with their big camera? He's just sleeping.
Researchers
just a little guy,
reportedly
leave him
spotted this
alone.
humanoid marine beast off the coast of Antarctica, estimating it to be around 65 to 100 feet long. For reference, that's around the same size as a blue whale. If that wasn't ominous enough, the Ningen is also said to have large, vacuous eyes and 5-fingered hands.
You know what he looks like a little bit? What's the guy's name in Lilo and Stitch? The big shark dude? I think it's just gone too. It's nothing to be worried about, you know what I mean?
Full size or limbs of this critter, but those eyes do look pretty soul-sucking, don't they?
No,
Maybe the
they
Ningen
don't.
Isn't just folklore.
You be
That
nice to
being
him.
said,
He's
the
just
researchers operating the
sleeping, minding
vehicle
his own
believe it
business.
Not to be the Ningen, but
He's
just
getting
a
bullied.
rock with a few barnacles attached to it, giving it the illusion of having eyes. What do you think, though? Barnacle-covered rock, or a supersized humanoid marine monster that's about to destroy the world?
I think it's just
I
gone
know
too.
what my money's
He's just
on.
hanging out.
The Ningen. Are you squidding me? But for all the strange deep-sea finds we've uncovered so far, there's one that trumps
Oh,
them all.
really? There's one
Why?
big one that
Well,
trumps
for
them all?
starters, it's found in the Hadal Zone, the deepest part of the ocean. Located at the bottom of the oceanic
Oh
trenches,
boy, oh boy.
more people have been to the moon than the Hadal Zone. I'd keep your eyes peeled, just in case your submarine bumps into this ocean oddball.
What the f is that?
Man, it's like if Slender Man took squid form. This thing is absolutely real. Living at head-bursting depths of around 20,000 feet, this creepy creature goes by the name of Magnapina, or Bigfin squid. And true to its name, these guys have some pretty big fins. Well, technically, tentacles. Unlike other squid, their appendages are held at elbow-like joints. With
It
the main
looks like
stretch
a
of the
daddy
tentacles
long leg. That's
themselves
creepy.
suspended below the squid's body. In all, these appendages can stretch some 26 feet long, making them close to 3 times the height of an NBA basketball hoop. Despite their stretchy size, the depth these guys live at mean they've only been spotted a handful of times.
Magnapina was with your mom last night. It looks like one of those things you hold and like move a puppet with, doesn't it? It looks like a ocean creature. Well, sorry, never mind.
Like, how do these beasts hunt?
It's not my fault
One
you
theory
lack
is
imagination.
that they drag their tall tentacles along the sea floor, grabbing whatever edible organisms cross their perilous path. Another is that they simply float, waiting passively for prey like zooplankton to get trapped in their tentacles. However these guys hunt, coming eyeball to eyeball with a big fin squid
So
4
did they
miles
say
beneath
that
the
his
water's
little
surface
tendrils hurt? I'm
might
guessing
leave
they
you with
do.
an squident in your pants.
Ha ha!
After all
Ha!
this time,
Axe
we'd
squid
like
in
to
your pants!
officially
Aha!
introduce you to
It looks like my mom.
myself, Jay, and
I see
Wesley.
it.
We are the narrators
Built different,
here
I
at
guess.
BMAs.
Welcome in,
But
Gravy
we
is
also know you
confused.
guys tend to have a favorite
They don't
for
know how it
certain
hunts?
videos
Yeah.
and topics.
I guess maybe we don't have
That
like
rounds up
enough
some of
ways
the
to
more
go down and
nightmarish
study
things
it
ever
that we
found in
could
the
like
deep
learn more
sea.
about it, which makes
Which
sense.
ocean discovery left you scared of the water? Let me know down in the comments below, and thanks for watching.
I liked this video. It was really interesting. Mooah, 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 mooah.